But we're going to start in this book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 1.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
My son, if thou become surety for thy neighbor, if thou hast struck thy hands for a stranger, thou art snared by the words of thy mouth, thou art caught by the words of thy mouth. Do this now, my son, and deliver thyself, seeing thou come into the hand of thy neighbor. Go, humble thyself, and urge thy neighbor.
Right. So basically what he's saying is, if you was a surety for your friend, but then you also kind of made this deal with a stranger, and now those two things kind of conflict, and what's happening is now what he's saying is that you got caught up in the words of your mouth. He's saying you don't have to make it worse than it already has to be. Once you realize the wrong that you did, just go, humble yourself, and then strengthen your neighbor, your friend, in that deal that you made and the words of your mouth wherein you went wrong. Come on.
Verse 4. Give not sleep to thine eyes, nor slumber to thine eyelids. Deliver thyself as a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. Go to the ant, thou sluggard.
Hold on a second. One of the things that you're going to see consistent throughout the book of Proverbs is Melech Shlomo talks about certain things and certain types of people consistently. He talks about like perverse people who talk about and do all types of things, and he talks about lazy people till there is no end, because that's something that we as a people, it's not supposed to be a part of us, but unfortunately laziness is something that just kills us as a people. For whatever reason, we can't find a way to go out there and do the things that we supposed to do. 50s, 60s, I don't know about those times, that's just what I read about. But 70s, a little bit of those, a few years of those. But, people went out there and people worked, and they worked hard. They tried to work hard to make a living, but it seems like this next generation coming up, and I don't want to put myself too far to the left or too going too high up, but the next generation is just different. A lot of times you look at the things like the graduation rate, and you look at the things that our young people are doing, and for whatever reason we just seem to lack that motivation. Our younger people seem to lack that motivation,
right.
And we as parents or the parents of this generation seem to find it hard to get them inspired.
Right.
And at a certain point, we got to do something about this, because if children are supposed to be our future, and the children these days and times, they don't want to go to school, and they don't want to go to work, and all of those different things, and we just kind of sitting around, and we don't really have those kind of professionals anymore and those types of things. What's going to become of us? They make it increasingly difficult out there, and I know for a lot of us, we saw that they raised the working at McDonald's to $15 an hour, so we see that as freedom. But that's just not it, because we need to be a higher class of people in that. We need to be a high school graduating people. We need to be a college graduating people. The way the Most High God made us as a people is our minds are so sharp. The Most High God has blessed us to be able to do anything that it is that we want to do. And yet, our children want to take the easy way out. Our children want to take the lazy way out. How you start smoking at 15,
right,
and 16,
right,
and how is that okay? Will we get the money for that at?
Right.
But it just seems that's just our plight right now. Look at what's in the Israelite community now. Look at the children and look at what we're doing. We need to do something. We need to raise up a stronger, better class of people in this, right, because this ain't gonna bring us over. This ain't gonna cut it. We need to do more. We need to push. And I understand that there's going to be that difference between where we don't want to push too much because we don't want to push them away. But if we don't push enough, we're not going to inspire them to do anything.
Right.
And that's the problem. I mean, it seems like the Most High God gave us this book, the Tanakh. He gave us Proverbs, and He tells us how to raise children. He tells us that. And it seems like maybe we don't believe what He said because we do things different. The Most High God said, spare the rod and spoil a child. That's what He said. But we don't want to beat kids for some reason. We don't want to admonish children for some reason. But with the Most High God push, everybody else does it. Chinese people send their kids to school all the time, 6 days a week. Jewish people send their kids to school 6 days a week. Germans and all of those other European countries who are ahead of America in science and math send their children to school all the time.
That's right.
We get 2 months off.
Right.
You get, how many days of school y'all get out of the year? Off. Many. Y'all get snow days. We never got snow days. I remember going to school in 12 inches of snow. I remember that. I remember I was playing basketball and I sprained my ankle. To the point where, I mean, by the time I walked home, I made it home, took the train home. By the time I got home, my ankle was like this. And my mother had to cut the sock off. The next day, she took me to Brookdale Hospital. I survived that. Got a cast. And I had to go back to school. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
I was in school with a baby blue cast, because that's when casts just got colors. I was in school with a baby blue cast, hopping around on crutches. And my mother was like, you just gotta go.
When it hits.
Right.
You just gotta go. It ain't hurt me. I just dealt with it.
Yeah.
But we being too light. We being a little bit too light these days. I'm not saying we need to be tyrants. I'm not saying we need to go that far, because to me that was a little bit egregious what she did, but I got through it.
I survived.
And you know what happened? It built character.
That's right.
I'm just saying. That's what happened.
Work with a little
We need to just push a little bit harder. Certain things aren't acceptable. I understand if 70 is what you do and you can't do better, then fine. But we know 70 ain't acceptable.
Never been accepted.
We know 80 ain't acceptable. Because we know if we put in a little bit more, we gonna get a little bit more.
Right.
Because the Most High God blessed us with that. Amen. You know the Most High God blessed us with children that read at 3 and children that read at 4. He blessed us with that. We have that in us. What we need to do is just do what it takes to bring it out of them. That means that we need to take a little bit more time away from our personal time as parents and invest a little bit more personal time with the kids. So it's a sacrifice for everybody.
For everybody, that's right.
But it's what's necessary. Because we need to start raising up doctors.
That's right.
We need to start raising up physicists and chemists and all of those types of professional people. I understand everybody is not going to be some sort. I understand. We needed garbage men too, but I just don't want the garbage men to be mine. I'm just saying. Let the garbage men be from the nation. We need to put a little bit more. Come on.
Verse 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise, which having no chief, overseer, or ruler, provides her bread in the summer and gathers her food in the harvest.
So what they telling you is make preparations when it's easiest to make the preparation. You don't want to try to start going to college at 30 and 40 and 50.
You don't got the time.
Because you don't have the time, but more so, I'm telling you, when you take, and I'm telling you because I've experienced, when you trying to design the structure of a concrete beam with steel reinforcements, I lost all y'all, didn't I? When you trying to design the structure of a concrete beam with steel reinforcements for a building with a moment connection, where some connections have to be welded and some connections have to be bolted, and you sitting in a class with somebody that's 19 and you 31, they usually finish the test a little bit quicker than you do. You usually one of the second or third to last people that's leaving out that classroom after that test, because it's different. When you older, you don't want to deal with that. You need to make the preparations that you need to make when you younger.
Say that again. That's right.
The problem is we want to do the things when we're younger that older people supposed to do. We want to get hooked into girls and boys when we're younger, when that's a thing that older people supposed to do. And what happens is, and I'm telling you from experience, once you start thinking about girls, math and English and all of those other subjects, it's just not the same anymore.
Third option.
Because your mind is on other things. Come on.
Verse 9. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep?
How you 10 and 11 and 12 and you sleep till 12 in the afternoon? How you do that? What do you sleep like you work as hard as I work?
Could sleep for 16 hours.
You
straight.
sleep like you are the one that's bringing home the bacon. You sleep like that.
You sleep for 14 hours.
How do you sleep like that? I mean, I'm just saying.
Animals.
When we was younger,
Gotta get up.
you had to get up.
Find something to do.
On a Saturday, I wasn't born in law. On a Saturday, you had to get up.
Clean up.
Mom, why I'm getting up? Because you don't need to be asleep.
That's right.
That's the only reason. I don't have nowhere to go. Need to get up. That's what it is.
Something around here.
Sunday, you need to get up. Ain't no sleep until 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Go Carol.
You don't do that. You don't do that. I'm just saying. We don't. If that means you need to go to bed earlier, you need to go to bed earlier. If you sleep from 10 p.m. to 1 p.m., then
That's a problem.
saying that's an issue. I mean, there's some kids in the room, so I ain't gonna tell y'all what adults. The first question when you was younger, if you was 15 and you slept till 1, 2 in the afternoon, it was one question that your parents always asked you.
Right.
And if you old enough, you know exactly what that question is.
Right.
Am I gonna be a grandparent? That's all I want to know. Come on.
Verse 10. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber,
That's how it starts.
a little folding of the hands to sleep.
You get a little bit comfortable. You
So-
get to bed a little bit later. Come on.
So shall thy poverty come as a runner, and thy want as an armed man.
Do you know what desperation somebody needs to be in to come up to somebody and rob somebody with some sort of a weapon? That's desperation. And that's how it's telling you that poverty is going to come upon you. Get a little sleep. Yeah, it's cute for him to sleep till 10. Yeah, it's cute for her to sleep till 11. Yet a little slumber, you turning, you tossing, everybody else up, you turning and tossing. It said poverty gonna come like a marauder, somebody that's coming in the night. And I'm just saying, you know, the problem is I know we're slaves, but we do pretty well in captivity. We do pretty well. I know somebody who just bought a brand new Toyota Camry, brand new. I know another person that just bought a brand new Max, brand new. We do real good in captivity. So because children don't see hurt, children don't see poverty, children don't see hunger. When children see a bare fridge, it's probably because Shabbat came too fast, but they know Sunday morning it's gonna be stacked up again.
Right.
So because y'all don't see poverty and y'all don't know what poverty feel like, y'all don't know what it feels like to eat cheese that just used to say cheese.
That's
Right.
it.
Y'all don't know what it feel like to eat cereal with milk that started out as powder.
Powder.
Y'all don't know what that feel like.
Right.
Tastes
So
like
because y'all
water.
don't know what that feel like, y'all don't know what poverty is.
Right.
Y'all don't know y'all don't know what it. Kids don't know what it feels like to be walking up coming down the stairs in a project, and you just a kid, and you see people strung out right in the middle of the stairs. You don't know what that feels like.
Leaning.
Because
They sleeping.
most of us aren't really in the projects no more. And for those that are in the projects done cleaned up so much, things are just different. So you don't know what it feels like to be poor. You don't know what it feels like for other people to be poor. And because we don't see that on a daily basis, then a lot of things kind of escape us. I'm just saying.
Break it down.
Take a ride down to, and even us in New York don't really know what it like to be poor.
Break it down now, Keith.
Take a ride down to Little Rock, Arkansas,
That's right.
and then you'll see poor.
Louisiana.
Take a walk down to all of those places, and then you'll really see poor look like. And then you'll understand when they talk about poverty gonna come like this, you're gonna realize, nah, I don't want that for me. When you have to do whatever it takes, you got to clean yourself up and come up with a story to go sit in front of somebody and tell somebody why they need to give you a card with $270 a month on it. And that's what you got to live on. A card with $270 a month on it. And unfortunately for us, we take a card with $270 a month on it and we still make it look good. Because we sell and we hustle and we do all of these different things. So you see people on welfare with the iPhone 6 Plus SS. You see that. Because that's how God made us. But the unfortunate part is we don't see the poverty like that. And because we don't see the poverty like that, we can't recognize the urgency of why parents are telling us, listen, we need to sit down and we need to study this, because unfortunately 70s don't work. 80s don't work. Because we're darker, we already are behind the ball where we have to work harder.
That's right.
Because we're darker. We already have to work harder.
That's right.
Because people, even though 70 can get the United States president into Harvard, that won't work for us. That don't work for us.
Right.
I'm just saying, we need to be a cut above. And we can't be a cut above because the Most High God made us that way. But we just need to put a little bit more work in. We need to put a little bit more effort in. You see with Mr. Rani, and you hear the frustration in him. And it's funny because you never see that guy frustrated. He always the one that's always calm. So when he comes and he's talking about study the portion, Bereshit and Noach is next, it's because he sees the potential that the Most High God gave us. It used to, back in a few years back, I ain't gonna say back in the days, but a few years back, when Cohen used to do the portion, it was a Hebrew side with vowels and a Hebrew side with no vowels. And the men had to read on the Hebrew side with no vowels. And they used to do it because that's what the standard was. But the standard changed, and now we're struggling with reading with no vowels. But it's okay because we're here to help each other. Right. So if we have an issue, then let's all come together and let's help each other. There's plenty of people in here that can read, that can help somebody. Each one teach one. But we need to put a little bit more effort in. And that's the theme of it. We need to put a little bit more effort in because our future is in our hands. We control it. And if we happy with what we see? I know the Most High God blessed us, but we happy with what we see? No. So then that means we all need to do better. I heard my brother ask somebody for a report card earlier on. We used to check report cards. We used to do all of those types of things, and not in a way to make people feel bad, but to say, listen, if you need help, let me know. You got people in here that's good at math, at English, at science, all of those different things. We all can help each other.
Okay.
We need to help each other.
That's right.
That's what we're here for.
That's the thing.
But when it comes to sink or swim, we can't sink. No, because that's not in it for us. Right. It's not in our DNA to do it.
Right.
Even when you sleeping that late, or you got a job that's making $5 an hour, you know that's not what you want. because you know that your dreams and your aspirations are bigger than that.
Right.
But unfortunately, with no school and no work and no hard effort, then that's what's coming for you.
Right.
That's what's coming for you. That's what's coming for us. And you see us as parents, we don't do great, we do okay. We do enough to pay the bills. Toraya. The next generation need to do better. The next generation need to do enough to pay y'all bills and my bills.
Yeah.
That's what I had kids for. That's not the only reason, but I expect to get taken care. I work so hard now, and I want y'all to hear me, because I think everybody else as a parent feel this way. I work so hard now so that y'all can take care of me later, so y'all can remember all this hard work that I did right now. That's how you feel?
That's how I feel, bro.
See how you feel? That's how you feel?
Yes, sir.
That's how you feel? Everybody and the parent, that's how y'all feel?
Hey.
I'm saying. That's why I need a kid that's a doctor. I need a kid that's a lawyer, because I'm sure I might be needing one of those. I need all types of stuff.
I want in on my investment. That's it.
We need to invest in our future, y'all.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. The Most High God has been so kind and gracious unto us. We need to give back. We need to push. We need to do more. We need to motivate. We need to inspire.
That's right.
That's what we need to do. And unfortunately, motivation and inspiration sometimes sound a little bit harsh for somebody who doesn't want to be motivated or doesn't want to be inspired. Come on.
Verse 12. A base person, a man of iniquity, is he that walks with a froward mouth, that winks with his eyes, that scrapes with his feet, that points with his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart. He devises evil continually. He sows discord. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. On a sudden shall he be broken, and that without remedy.
And like it speaks about all through the Proverbs, it tells you that when you understand Torah, you'll be able to recognize those people. Mm-hmm. You'll be able to recognize people that start to talk crooked. Yeah. You'll be able to recognize the crooked talk that they talk.
Yes,
a mile away.
Sideway talk.
When you start to see certain gestures, you're gonna start to see. You're gonna already understand. Okay, they going into their act now. I've seen this before. This is what I've been taught about. And you're going to be able to recognize it. And you see how, where it talks about, where it says, he does all of these different things. Perverseness is in his heart. It says, as a man thinks, so is he. So when you listen to people talk, and all they talking about is crooked stuff, then what type of person is that?
Crooked.
If you hear a person talk, and all they talking about is robbing or stealing and different things, what type of person is that? You a thief. Even if you ain't stole nothing yet, you just talk. You just ain't get a chance to yet. You just didn't get the opportunity. Come on. Verse
16. There are 6 things which Yahweh hates, yea, 7 which are an abomination unto him.
Before he starts, I'm going to tell you, none of these 7 things are a law. Not one. And it shows you that there are certain personalities and there are certain behaviors that the Most High God recognizes as criminal, and it's not just a matter of infracting a law or anything like that. It's just certain ways that the Most High God doesn't want us to be. It's certain ways that is not conducive for a righteous and moral people to be. It's not conducive, because what happens is these things that they're going to talk about does what? It causes dissension. It causes problems. It causes other issues to arise in the midst of a community or a family that's trying to be better.
Right.
Come on.
That's right.
17. Haughty eyes.
A proud look. Haughty eyes. You know, when you tell somebody something, you could tell by the look on their face that they could care less about what you just said. You could tell by the look on somebody's face that you could go take that talk that you talking and you can turn it sideways.
Rudy Foo.
And I'm just saying, if anybody know wrestling, y'all know where I'm going with this. I'm just saying. you already know just by the look on their face when you tell them, as nice as you tell them, or as rough as you tell them, or whatever it is. The fact of the matter is that they just don't want to hear what you talking right now. You ever hear somebody start talking and you just like, I just feel like just ripping my ears off and throwing them on the ground just so I don't have to hear this person talk no more.
Right.
And you see it in their face. Man, the only thing that you're trying to do is just trying to guide somebody in a path, because you know by the way that they're acting, they don't understand. That proud look that you give, just think about it. So when your parents talking to you and you kind of give that eye roll, or you kind of give that, or you kind of give all of those different things that back in, if you was a kid in 1984, that you would have get the backhand smack. Somebody was talking about the backhand smack?
Backhand smack?
Backhand smack.
Yeah, baby.
Backhand smack.
That was
real quick. And that was just as soon as the stripsing of your teeth started, that's when it came.
Reflex.
That's when it came. I was just telling the kids a story about what happened with me and my mother and my brother. I don't know how old we were. We were younger. We had bunk beds. And whatever we did, we was getting a beating. Well, he got his beating first. He was in a process of getting his beating. And she must have hit him with the belt a little bit too. Like I said, I want y'all to picture it now. We had bunk beds and Farragut projects. The bunk beds was along the wall. He was on the bottom bunk, I was on the top bunk. And on my top bunk, because my birthday had just passed, I had one of those tents. Y'all remember the tents that used to come for the bed?
Yes.
I had one of those tents. And I'm telling you, this is a true story. She was beating him, and I knew I was next. You know what I'm saying? I knew I was next. You getting a beating, and then just out of reflex, my mother raised 2 boys. You were just out of reflex, my brother kind of jumped at my mother.
That was it.
And my mother stepped back.
Passed out.
She dropped the belt.
Internalized.
Pop, pop.
Knocked him out. Knocked him
And he
out.
folded into the underneath the bunk bed. And he folded in. And when I seen that, I'm telling you, I jumped on the top bunk and zipped my tent zipper down, and I just stayed there and just hoping that I wasn't gonna catch none of that.
You got it?
Nah, I ain't get it. I went to sleep. I'm telling you, I went to sleep. Went to sleep.
That's energy on him.
Went to sleep.
You got it.
That's the best, worst two-piece you've seen. Any two-piece you've seen in boxing would not compare to that.
She folded him. Huh?
She had to raise 2 boys in the projects by herself, and she had to do what she had to do.
That's right.
Y'all think y'all got it hard. I bet y'all could count the number of beatings y'all got on one hand.
Wow.
Number of beatings I got, I can't even count on the hands of all the people in this room. I'm just saying.
Everything got you a beat. Take that.
Proud look. Come on.
A lying tongue.
Are you lying? Why is you lying for? I mean, you got some people that lie to get out of trouble, and you got some people who lie just to lie. Just, I mean,
Ain't got nothing else better to do.
you know, I mean, just. He said because it's Wednesday. I mean, just lying for no reason. Actually, this is a law, so I take back my other statement. Take back my other statement. But these are things that the Most High hate. So that little white lie that we tell, things that the Most High God hates. It said even an abomination. Just think about it. Come on.
And hands that shed innocent blood.
Just murderer. I mean, people who just do things to people just because. Hands that shed innocent blood. Most High God hate that. I mean, it's just my opinion that it's not necessarily just murder.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. I don't think that when they talk about hands that shed innocent blood, even when they talk about it as it relates to the law, I don't think that they just talking about murder. I'm talking about you going and you know, running up on somebody, you robbing somebody, you stabbing somebody, you doing whatever it is that you used to do, and you leaving somebody laying out on the street, but they don't die. You don't get off for that.
Right.
And the Most High God will visit you for that.
That's right.
Back in 80, 88, 89, 90. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And because I want y'all to understand that because things are a little bit different and you see parents are a little bit harder, I want you to understand why. Back in 88, 87, 89, there was these groups called the Decepticons, D.C.B.s, taken straight from the cartoon. And it was gang related. This was before Bloods and Crips came to New York City. Actually, Bloods and Crips came out of that. But with these people, and when I tell you people used to roll deep, they used to roll deep.
Yeah.
30 dudes.
Rocking the side.
40 dudes. And they will run up on you in order for you to be a part of them, first they had to jump you in for you to be in with them, and then they just used to go and they used to catch wreck. Just do. Run up on somebody real easy. Run up on somebody. Hammer, punches, hatchets, all that type of stuff, and just beat them down and leave them laying in the street and just go. That's what they used to do. That was New York City, 87, 88, 89.
On your way to school.
On your way to school. On your way home. On your way to the store. That's just what was out there. Come on.
Verse 18. A heart that devises wicked thoughts.
You don't even have to do wrong. You could just think it for too long.
That's right.
And that's abominable before the Most High God. You could just hold a thought too long. People who just sit there and stew and just think about all types of wicked and abominable things, because what's going to happen is after a while, what you think about is going to manifest itself, and that's what you're going to end up doing. But the Most High God is telling you that just the thought of it all, the thought of you thinking about whatever it is that we think about is an abomination.
Him.
Come on.
Put the bottle down. Feet that are swift and running to evil.
Fast. Something wrong going on, you already on your way. On your way to the temple, you get here for 1 o'clock. Fast.
Yeah.
Fast to do wrong. Quick to do evil. On his way to, you ever notice the people who it's a fight happening and rather than run, just keep going where you go, you just know that a fight happening, so you want to run to the fight. Just to see the fight.
See who gonna
That's how people get hurt. Right. Because fights usually turn to shooting. You see the girl? The 3 women who got shot last week? The guy who left the club was looking for the bouncer. 3 young girls. 1 died. The other 2 in critical condition. He was aiming at the bouncer and shot 3 women. Certain places we don't need to be. Certain things we don't need to be a part of. The Most High God gives us these thoughts to keep moving them, to move along this way, just so that we stay away from evil. Because we all know that the evil happens, and it's all out there. We read about it on the news all the time.
Right.
But the Most High God keeps us in order to keep us away from all those different things. We need to stay away from those things. Come on.
A false witness that breathes out lies.
He just breathes lies. I seen him do it. How you know they did it? Well, I heard from this person who said that they heard from that person who said that they thought they might have seen somebody who looked like him, and that's why he did it.
Yeah.
Breathes lies. Ain't seen nothing, ain't heard nothing.
Right.
But you witness it to something. One of our biggest problem is we just need to learn to just mind our business.
Mind business. That's right.
Because if we mind our business, then at least our name can't be hooked up or associated into certain things. If something is going to happen, and if this person was doing that with that person and all those different things, listen, trust me, you better off not knowing.
Definitely.
Come on.
And he that sows discord among brethren. Spend some time on that.
I'm just going to sit and let them just think about it for a minute.
Marinate on that.
Think about it for a minute. You know, that discord comes in a lot of different ways. Most of the time, sowing discord comes when you really think you doing somebody a favor.
That's right.
Many times, sowing discord comes when you really think that you trying to help somebody out. She ain't cooked. What? Yo, my Isha ain't cooked, man. Listen. She'll be on her way. She'll be on her way back to her father's house. That's all I'm saying. You don't need to let her treat you like that, man. I mean, you the man. You the king of the castle. No, and let me preface my statement by saying, because I heard you this morning, I did not have a fight with my Isha before I made my way back. So anything you hear me talk about is not because I'm angry or upset. It's just because it's what the book said.
Right. Hallelujah.
He want another wife, girl? Listen, come on. He can't take care of no other wife. He can barely take care of you. I mean, that $15 an hour raise ain't even kick in yet. He already looking for somebody else? You already trying to spend that money? I'm just saying, I can't be no second wife. That ain't me. I can't have my Isha acting like that. She acting like that because you want to get a second wife? Listen, you need to put it in the back. David did it. You see what David, you don't even got to divorce her. Just David did it. Just put it to the side. Tell her you hold that. Just saying. All that sowing discord that happens when we think that we trying to give somebody good advice. If your advice, here's some advice. If your advice is going to lead to somebody getting angry or upset or causing somebody to leave somebody, or hear me out, breaking up a house or a family,
Right.
you need to reconsider your advice. Because I don't know how he read it, but my books say, and one that sows discord amongst brothers and sisters. That's what my books say. I'm just saying. A lot of times I know we think we're trying to help, and we see our friend, male or female, going through whatever it is that they're going through, and we want to give advice and we're going to help, but listen, you need to be careful on the help that you give. We need to be careful on the advice that we give, because how are you going to feel when your advice that you give causes some family to break up, and now these kids are not seeing a mother or father? How that make you feel?
Right.
Just think about that. The words and the advice that we give is powerful, especially to somebody who's already in a delicate and fragile situation.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
You need to be careful what you say.
That's right.
Come on.
Verse 20. My son, keep the commandment of thy father, and forsake not the teaching of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thy heart, tie them about thy neck. When you walk, it shall lead you. When you lie down, it shall watch over you. And when you awake, it shall talk with you.
You know, and so he's going back to the same things. The commandments and the advice that I'm giving you, just think about it, because it's going to keep you. It's going to preserve you. It's going to be health to your life and marrow to your bones.
Right.
You know, one of the things that, and I know a lot of us have this problem. The biggest problem that a lot of us have is this thing called stress. Because I know
Kills.
we work, and you know, then we got to go home, and some of us got to cook, and you got to take care of kids, and you got to, you know, do these various different things that we have to do in our lives. And a lot of times, you know, scientists say that we should be getting, the average person should be getting about 8 hours of rest a night.
I never get that.
I ain't getting 8 hours of rest since,
Yes.
Shabbat.
and not even on Shabbat do I get 8 hours of rest.
Jump up.
Just saying. But we don't rest. And we go,
Get it.
and we go out there, and you know, because we got to get kids up in the morning and all of these different things,
That's right.
and we don't rest. We got to deal with work, come home, and all of those different things. But that's part of life.
That's life.
So those parts of life we have control over, and you know, we can deal with it. But then unfortunately for us, we like to add stuff to it. And I'm gonna just talk about social media for a minute.
Added stress.
I'm not bashing social media, but what I am gonna say is just kind of think about what happens. You had to get some kid up early in the morning, or some group of kids up early in the morning for whatever. Then you had to go to work for 8 hours, or for some of us 4 hours, because they get to leave after 4 hours, or whatever it is. And then you go home. And then you got to prepare a meal. And after you do all of those different things, and you deal with the stress of work, and the stress of the people on the train, and all of those different stresses that we deal with, and in addition to all of the problems that we have, then we go and we want to open up Facebook, and we want to open up Instagram, and then start internalizing and taking in other people's problems. Because that's what people do on Instagram and on Facebook. That's what they talk about. And all you need is some text that's gonna say, I can't believe he acting like this. I'm about to cut this zero. And that's all you need to read. Because that's the post. And then the next thing is, I want to use somebody, Jezebel. So then you call Jezebel. Then you're looking at that, and then you start to worry. Man,
Did you see that?
I wonder if Jezebel,
Like the post
I wonder if she's sick of having Jezebel sick of dealing with that Ahab.
with Ahab.
I'm sick of thinking of Jezebel sick of dealing. I bet it was because that post that I read last week about him coming in too late. You know what?
Right.
Let me just kind of post on this. Let me jump on this. And then a couple of people likes and a couple of dislikes. And none of that has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. But you taking in other people's problems and other people's stresses, and you bringing all of that in
Your life.
to add to the stress that you already have. You know what? Zacar, he did the same thing that I think you know what? And then now Zacar come home and Zacar got problems. Now whoever come home and they got problems. Some, whatever. And that's what we do. And we do it, and we sitting on Facebook. So between Facebook or Instagram and Empire, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that they put that gay couple on Empire, because now maybe people will stop watching so much Empire. I'm just saying. So you watching Empire, and you on Facebook chatting and liking and disliking the unliking and all those different things, and rice is burning, and the chicken is burning, and the kids is crying, and all of these things is happening, and you
House is on fire.
everything. And that's you.
Your own, worrying about somebody
And that's
else.
us. And it ain't even our problem. And again, I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying what we do, which causes problems in our house. That's all. Because none of those people's lives has nothing to do with us.
That's right.
Has nothing to do with us. We got our own issues. We got to get up in the morning. So instead of you can't get your 8 hours of sleep because you up on Instagram at 1 o'clock in the morning, and now you got to get up at 6.
Right.
And now you get up tired. And everybody at work got to get it because you tired. I'm just saying. Most of the problems that we have, we create for us. The worst thing that they could have did was make a camera phone. And even worse than the camera phone that they could have did is they made the flip camera phone. As much as I like Apple, I'm upset that they made the flip camera phone where now you don't even gotta, when you take your pictures of yourself, you could just look at it and see what you see.
Like a mirror.
Yo, walking down the street. Everybody. Girls.
A selfie stick.
Yeah.
A stick.
And that's all we do. Worst thing in the world was a camera phone.
Now they got the stick.
Worst thing in the world. And that's everybody. I seen a lot of Chinese lady with a selfie stick. And that's what we do. Everybody think we a model. I'm just saying. Come on.
Verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the teaching is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life, to keep thee from the evil woman, from the smoothness of the strange tongue. Lust not after her beauty in thy heart, neither let her captivate you with her eyelids. For on account of a harlot, a man is bought to a loaf of bread, but the adulteress hunts for the precious life.
Listen, it said by the means of a whorish woman,
Right.
a man is bought to a piece. If you look at the word in here, it's pot, a piece of bread. Literally a piece.
Said a piece of bread, huh?
Piece of bread.
Slice.
Nah,
Your money
Not
go.
even a
nah,
slice.
not even a slice.
A piece.
Piece of
A
bread.
morsel.
A crumb.
Piece of bread. They said Lamar Odom dropped $75,000 in a Nevada brothel since, what was it? In like 2 days?
Wow.
2 days?
Wow.
3 daes, was it? 4 days. $75,000 in 4 days. How much is that a day? Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. You make me look bad. I know the pressure, right? Yeah, I'm gonna come back to
Say 16. Just say 16.
it. Ain't 16.
Say 16.
There you go. Okay. And plus or minus. I got you. $18,000 plus or minus a night. Not even 40 yet. And you need that? But the reason that he spent the money and the reason that he was going through all of these different changes that he was going through was because of those impending divorce papers from that Lavana that he knew was coming.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why. So you got this big, grown, 6'10" athlete that in his year, I mean, he was he All-Star? I think he made All-Star once or twice, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Couple of championships.
Championships with the Lakers, and
A hell of a
this female got him all
Spinning.
twisted up, foaming from the mouth with pink stuff coming from his mouth in some Nevada brothel. Remember Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
right.
Robin-
Anybody remember that interview
Robin
with Mike Tyson and Robin Givens?
Yes, sir.
Show.
Remember that interview?
Classic.
Where they would ask, so Mike, how do you feel about this? Mike feels like grown man knocked out everybody. Can't speak for itself.
Yeah. Adam Drug.
Can't speak for itself. Grown man. So now, imagine that. Imagine your firstborn boy that you love so much, whoever it is, men, women, whoever. And he can't act right because he's so wrapped up around some female that he just can't get his head right.
Right.
Money going over here. He think the worst thing that can happen to a man is that spirit of jealousy because you can't think straight. Whether she wrong or whether she right, you can't think straight. And that's what ends up catching you sitting in cars and hiding behind cars trying to catch her because she going out and you trying to see who she going out with.
Matt Barnes.
Big grown man
Right.
hiding behind cars, following after some female. It's sad that by the means of a whorish woman,
Yeah.
a man is bought to a piece of bread. I'm just saying.
Lead them chick.
That's a real
Some real talk.
serious situation. Come on.
Verse 27. Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned? Or can one walk upon hot coals and his feet not be scorched? So he that goes into his neighbor's wife, whosoever touches her shall not go unpunished.
You know, If y'all don't believe it, just ask Derek Fisher.
Yes, sir. Right.
Yes, sir.
Homies, women.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Sir.
unfortunately what happens,
Over 100 miles. Tighten them
unfortunately
up.
what happens when a woman,
get it
and they talked about it last week, and the woman, a man's desire shall be, a woman's desire shall be to a man, to a man. And because men are typically more logical. Women are, I said typically. I heard a couple of, what? You ain't talking about what I'm talking about. But I understand. Typically. Women tend to be more emotional.
Right.
Typically. And so when a woman when she love you and she in love with you and all of those different things, listen, you could get anything. Your fried chicken is brown. She'll make sure the second that you cough, she got the remedy all laid up and waiting for you. She want to text you all day just to see how your day going. All those different things. However, when her desire is gone, oh man, it's gone. And many times, there's nothing that you could say to get it back. And she starts looking at other people, eyeing other people, whereas before, guys would come up to her and tell her, you so cute, and she'd be like, I'm married. Now it's, you so cute, I am, aren't I? I'm just saying. And that's just kind of what happens. So, again, I know everybody's heard about this Derek Fisher, Matt Barnes situation, where Matt Barnes drove somewhere between 5 and 95 miles, depending on who tells you the story, to box down Derek Fisher for messing with his wife.
Right.
Drag him from the backyard pool area where they was doing some type of footsie, sit down, whatever, and drag Derek Fisher, bonfire. Drag Derek Fisher from the bonfire through the bearskin rug, all on the couch, boxing him down, and then Derek Fisher runs out because he finally got away. I'm just saying.
That's what happened.
That's what happens when when you messing with somebody's woman. And the interesting part about that is Matt Barnes was a bit of a psycho case himself, but they were still married. If they talk about it, they try to make adultery like look good. Yeah. So they say his estranged wife.
Meaning?
Still his wife.
His wife.
They just separated. Last I heard, Gloria Govan, that's her name, right? Gloria Govan?
Something like that.
She ain't putting no technical fouls, getting no technical fouls for putting nobody out. Yeah. She wasn't on the court shooting baskets or nothing like that.
That's right.
That's Matt Barnes' house. And she got famous off of what? Basketball Wives.
Right.
Because she was a wife of Matt Barnes.
He didn't want to do it at first. He didn't even want to marry her.
He was saying. And, then Derek Fisher, who was friends, him and Matt Barnes,
teammates,
good friends. They was teammates, but they was friends.
Good friends.
If you ask Matt Barnes, he said they was friends.
Were being the operative.
To me, it's so many women out there. Right. Anybody ever watch Guy Code?
Yeah.
Some stuff on Guy Code is silly. But, it's some stuff on Guy Code that's real talk. Yeah. And this is one of those situations that fall under Guy Code. Because if y'all friends, and y'all good friends, estranged wife, ex-wife, girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, off limits. Yeah. Off limits. Don't matter how cute she is. Off limits. And that was off limits from before I even came in knowledge of self. That was off limits. Because it's certain things that men just don't do.
Not supposed to.
Or shouldn't do.
Right. Maybe this is grinding.
And so that's the situation he found himself in. And I mean, obviously, that's why we couldn't freaking win a game last year, because the coaches, some of the adults are over there messing around with somebody's wife, and now our whole team is cursed because of him.
That's what you're putting it on, huh?
That's the best I can do. That's the best I can come up with. I'm saying, it's because of the coach.
That's a good solution. Right?
That's what I'm saying. I'm waiting. I'm trying to go to Knicks game 1, so I can start a chant. Fire Fisher. Fire Fisher.
Hey, you know, he
Try to
took
get him
off
out
of
of here.
practice to do that.
Get some coach with some morals or something.
He took off of practice to go do that.
I know. Y'all seen the Instagram with the triangle? With the triangle? With her? That's the real triangle offense. Her, and then him and Matt Barnes. Come on.
Verse 30. Men do not despise a thief if he steal, to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. But if he be found, he must restore sevenfold. He must give all the substance of his house.
You know, again, we think different. God thinks different than we think.
Okay.
Because this, and again, they trying to, the fact that this is put here in the midst of what they're talking about, it just kind of leads me to believe that they trying to drive the point home that a lot of times we as a people, we feel sorry for wicked people when wicked people convince us that they're in a situation where they've been wronged, or when they're in a situation where they feel like this is what I had to do. So they throw this in here and they like, if men don't despise a thief, if he steal. So the thief stole because the thief was hungry. He was hungry, he had his family to feed, and so he went out there and he stole. And men don't despise that person. But the fact of the matter is, it says that, but he still stole. And he still offended God. And the result of that, it says that if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house. It doesn't matter that he stole because he was hungry. It doesn't seem to matter that he stole because he was hungry.
No.
So a lot of times, again, I know because people who are in certain types of situations, they become real emotional. I mean, and they do things to play on your emotion. He beat me. He wasn't never home. He just didn't pay enough attention to me. House full of nice stuff. He just don't spend enough time with me. He out there working. I need somebody. He doesn't understand me. And then we feed into that.
For sure.
And we eat that right up. Anybody know that song, If You Think You're Lonely Now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's two versions of it. It's the Jodeci version, but it's the Bobby Womack version.
Yeah.
And for the life of me, the line that he said, that's what he said.
Right.
You always bragging about what you always talking about what your girlfriend's got. Yeah. And we ain't got. Yeah. And you know I want to give them to you, but girl, I can't be in two places at one time. Something got to give. Either you want me to work so you can have nice stuff, or you want me to stay home with you and we could be broke together. You pick.
If you think you're lonely now.
If you think you're lonely now,
Right. Until tonight.
just wait until tonight, girl. I'm just saying. It's a conscious choice. It's a conscious choice. I often relate stuff. I try to relate stuff to songs because everything that already has been done will be done. And the people who sing about it, they sing about it much better. And because you get that emotion from it, you could kind of understand it a little better if I had just said that. If I had just made that up, then y'all would probably just look at me like, okay. But now that Bobby Womack sung it, add a little bit more, flavor to it. You feel it a little bit more. I'm just saying. We need to recognize and understand that wicked people or, because I know people don't like to call people wicked, so I'll just say, people who do wicked things
Right.
need to be judged based on the wicked thing that they've done. We can't be more merciful than God.
For sure.
Because in us, I know we have to be merciful, but we can't be more merciful than God. Because when we try to be more merciful than God, then we sin. Because we do contrary to what God told us to do in that particular situation. Come on.
Verse 32. He that commits adultery with a woman lacks understanding.
Because he should have known better.
That's right.
That's right.
Knows better.
You should have known better because you know how it would feel if somebody did that to you.
You. Yes, sir.
Let me say that again.
That's right.
You would know how it feels if somebody did it to you. If you walked up in your house and some next dude was in your pajamas and she was cooking a meal, you know how you would feel if something was done to you. You know
Yes,
that.
sir.
You know that.
Yes, sir.
I would go a little bit further, but I'm just saying. But I want y'all to understand. And that's why, and because you're going to read the rest of it, and you're going to see why is he so angry and all of those different things. But you know, as a man, you know how you would feel. Seeing somebody, go ahead. Go ahead.
He does it that it would destroy his own soul. Wounds and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away.
You know, again, it's a certain, and again, I'm not trying to play that whole possession card and all of that different. I'm not trying to do that. But when it's your lady, your wife, your whatever, and your friend, or some guy, or she allows somebody certain access. That's a moray word. She allows somebody certain access that previously used to be yours.
Right.
Used to be yours. And that's why I talked about that whole desire, because once the desire is gone, it's not yours anymore, even though she still has your last name on paper.
That's right.
It's yours anymore. And again, it's a jealousy thing to a degree, but I can tell you as a man, if you get to the point, and I'm speaking to men, I'm speaking to boys, as a man, if you get to the point where you feel so untrusting of her that you gotta hide behind cars and you gotta check phones,
Check a phone. Right.
and you gotta do all of those different stuff,
Okay.
all of those different things.
Right.
I'm just saying.
You already have your answer.
I'm just saying.
That's
Ain't
right.
no priest to bring it to now.
That's right.
Again, when it gets to that point, you already have your answer. Because the self-inflicted stress that you bring upon yourself by staying in a certain type of situation like that, where your stomach is boiling. And I'm just telling you, because that whole jealousy thing, it brings out certain, your stomach is boiling.
Right.
And she leaves the house. She could be innocent. Whatever, innocent or guilty. She leaves the house, and you automatically starting to worry, oh, she ain't back yet.
Right.
She says she going to the store for some milk, but we got milk. We don't need no milk. And all types of, as soon as her phone ring. Shalom, who that? Who that? And you can't, I'm just saying. That's a lot going on in your stomach.
Another love TKO.
That's all of that. That's all of those stomach acids and all of that turning your stomach inside down, burning a hole in your stomach.
Yeah.
because the person who's supposed to be the closest to you,
Right.
Betrayed.
you feel like she betrayed. And I'm not, again, did it, not did it. In this case, she did it, but I'm
No
telling
way to
you.
live life.
Telling you. And everybody is suspect. And everything is, yeah, I was talking to this lady named Jezebel. That's my Jezebel?
It's only one Jezebel in this part of town.
That's true. That's actually true. I just figured I'd use that name just because it's the easy name.
Same Jezebel
But-
I was talking about earlier.
I'm telling you. The hole that it burns in your stomach from a woman that you can't trust, wrong or not wrong, and that's what I'm saying. And that's why it says the person who does it lacks understanding, because you know how it would feel if it was done to you. Unfortunately, you got some people that are just animals.
Yes, sir.
And some people just don't care. And right now they not in a settling down mood. So whoever they could fish at, they just fish at, because they not in a settling down mood. Maisha told me one day she was at work, and she works social service. So now the people who come to her are people who are either on welfare, trying to get welfare continued, trying to get welfare, something to do with welfare, and not work. So it's something to do with welfare. And she had to do it in the office, and she's going through this with the guy, and the guy's like, man, you so cute. And she just steady, do whatever she's doing. Yo, the answer, he says, you married? And she was like, yes, I am. And then he was like, are you happy? It's like, for real? Like, you on welfare? Or you trying to get welfare? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what can you offer me? You know what I'm saying? You on welfare. I'm just saying. Some dudes are just
That's
animals.
an animal. That's the animal man.
I'm just saying. What are you going to share some of that $278 a month? I'm just saying.
I could be $278 richer. Verse 34. For jealousy is the rage of a man, and he will not spare in the day of vengeance.
Yes, sir.
He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. Hallelujah.
So he's angry.
Massacre.
And it said, remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that? Starlight City Massacre. Yeah. I ain't gonna get into that. It's kids in the room.
No.
But you know it was some people who was like, he ain't have to do that, right?
Yeah.
Every time. Sympathetic to
It says, and he, for the jealousy is the rage of a man, and he will not spare in the day of his vengeance. He will not regard any ransom. He's gonna hold that.
No payoff.
As against the adulterer and the lady, he's gonna hold that, and he's gonna remain angry. And for all of those people who say he can't hold a grudge or he can't do this, I give you a psalm from David, where David said about the wicked person, where David said, God, please let their prayer be sent. Because certain lines you can't come back from. After you cross certain lines, the irreparable damage that you've caused is like irreparable.
Damage is done.
I'm just saying. I don't know about the people who decide to go back after that. I can't speak to the people who decide to go back after that. But just something that we all need to consider. All honors, praises, respect, acknowledgement, and thanks I offer to the great King of the universe, to the God of our fathers, to the God of Abraham, the God of Yitzchak, and the God of Yaakov, thanking him for all things and everything. Shabbat Shalom L'Kol.
Shabbat Shalom Lakah.